How's it going, everybody? This is going to be a DM Solo Tribute Hunter Guide. This is a comprehensive guide leaning more towards a beginner guide rather than a speedrun gold per hour guide. It's meant to get you familiar with the run and the tips and tricks that you can do in order to make it gold efficient in terms of your pet not dying and you not dying. Now, talking about my pet, this is a huge part of the run. In order to make my pet as efficient as possible, I make 3 macros that I keybind. I have my pet stay macro, my pet attack macro, and my pet passive macro. As shown, the pet state is going to define the starting point and the ending point of your pet. So it's going to define when your pet's going to run back to. Pet attack is what you use to send in your pet, and pet passive is what you use to call him back to that original point. The next point that I want to cover are the talents that I use. I use regular rating talents. I know a lot of people take improved feign death in order to prevent resistances from wiping them, but I would say the number of times that a resist actually cost me a run is maybe 1 in 20, because that usually doesn't happen until the very last boss, and you can usually recover from that. So like shown, I just have regular rating talents, not really anything special. The only talent that you do need to spec into is Scattershot. I would say the run is almost, not impossible, but it's definitely a lot harder without it. The next thing that you're going to need are going to be a lesser invis pot and then a large Sephorium charge per run. So you're going to use 1 invisibility pot. Unless you wipe, then you might use multiples, but 1 Sephorium charge every time you do the run, and that requires at least level 200 engineering to use. And like I said, this is just a beginner guide, so I'm just going to show you how to do the run. The more you do it, you're going to get faster. These runs can vary anywhere from 11 minutes to 30 minutes. Now the first thing that you're going to do is put on aspect of the cheetah, and you're going to run up to this ogre and give him a good old scatter shot. Now here's the first tip of the run. Once you're coming up to this ledge, you're going to want to jump on this point that I've highlighted. Just go ahead and jump straight on there, and you should do it flawlessly. Once you get up on the ledge, just be careful with the group to your left. If you do aggro them, they're gonna de-aggro you. You can just keep on running. Right there, even if he frostbolts you, that's no problem. He's eventually gonna lose the aggro. And now when you come here is going to be the first pull of the instance. You gotta be careful because sometimes there is a pat that comes from the right, from where the arrow is pointing, and if the pat is there, you will die if you're not paying attention. Here's an example of me not paying attention. So I call my pet and I start running, and then I just realize that there's a pat. I panic, I stop, then I accidentally aggro the group behind me, and before it's too late, I switch to aspect of the monkey. They knock me up and they kill me. So like I said, you don't want to do that. This time I actually checked, there's no pat, so then I summon my pet. And like I said, I put a freezing trap just to so my pet doesn't die. But then like I said, this is where you use your macros. So the first thing that I do is I use pet stay. Then I go ahead and send my pet in with pet attack. Then I call him back to that original point with pet passive. Then I just go ahead and sneak past that group. And some of the times you are gonna see an ogre to the left. If the ogre's there, just give him a scatter shot and then keep on walking straight towards that ledge. If he's not there, just hug that ledge and you shouldn't pull the group to the right. So I actually didn't hug the ledge properly. I did pull the group, but since I still have my scatter shot, I just scatter shot that dog. Now once you get to this middle area, you're safe to feign death. Just go ahead and feign death whenever you're safe, and then you can loot the chest. This chest contains the key that we're going to need to open the door in front of us. Just go ahead and look around, make sure that there aren't any ogres and you're safe, and then just go ahead and wait till there's no one up in that ramp, and then you can go down the ramp. And like you see right here, my pet's not currently summoned. It's because I ranged him, so he automatically unsummons. He gets dismissed. Now here, what you're gonna want to do is that you're gonna want to go through this little pattern that I'm showing. It's almost like a triangle or an L shape. Now once you're there, that's a safe spot, but I actually had to move quickly because the boss was coming. But once you're down here, that's an ultimate safe spot, and there's no pad that can get you there. But just go ahead and open the door, and then you're gonna want to go to this corner, summon your pet again, and then do the same trick. Go ahead and put your pet in passive. You're gonna watch out for the Eye of Kilrog. There's an Eye of Kilrog in this room. As soon as you see it, you're gonna want to kill it. So once your pet's in passive mode, or in stay mode, sorry, you're gonna put the trap, then you're gonna send him with pet attack. And then once he hits the monster or the ogre, you just call him back. Like I said, you're gonna watch out for the Eye of Kilrog. So as I'm going here, the eye's right there. Just give him, you know, melee attack, arcane shot, and he should die. And then this is the second safe spot. You just feign death. Your pet dismisses himself again from ranging, and then you just call him back up. Now here I messed up. You want to put a freezing trap there, but I got too close and I aggroed. So I sent my pet in to attack both of those mobs for a quick recovery. So he attacks that one, and then I want him to attack the ones in the back. And then everything's fine. You know, I recovered from that mistake. But if you want to do it the proper way, I'll just go ahead and show you how to properly do it. You know, just feign death once you lose aggro. And if you want to do it the proper way, here we go. You just put the trap, you back away. If your pet's not out, you summon your pet. Like I said, watch out for the Eye of Kilrog. There it is. Kill the eye. And then you're going to want to attack that mob and then target the furthest ogre. And then pet attack the furthest ogre. So he's hitting that one, and then he's hitting the one all the way back there. The ogre freezes, your pet dismisses, you get here. Now for this part, you can slash target guard, and that way you can see where the guard is, mark them, and you see the scorpion right in front of us. We're gonna send our pet to attack him, and then we're gonna put our pet to attack the ogres behind us, the furthest one again. So once they aggro, you can just go ahead and move. So right there I marked the diamond, I see him, and then you keep on moving until you get to this area. Now here you have two options. In my opinion, option number one is safer, and then option number two is easier. So option number one is that you're gonna jump on the skeleton, and then you're gonna use the skeleton to jump on the ledge. You're gonna do a side jump. Option number two, you just get under the ledge, and then you just feign death when the boss comes. Or before he comes, because he can charge you. But I think option number two, tends to be a little bit riskier, so this is just way easier in my opinion. So once you're up in this ledge, the ogres from the back and the scorpions aren't gonna aggro you, but the boss can. He can actually charge you off that ledge. So you're gonna stand on this corner, and then you're gonna wait until he passes that second rock that I've highlighted or that I've circled. And then as soon as he passes that rock, you can just go ahead and start moving. And like I said, you're gonna have to watch out for the Eye of Kilrog in this room as well. There's the eye, go ahead and kill it. And then once this ogre sees you, you just scatter shot him. And then right here is the next important step. You want to stop right there on the area that I've circled. You don't want to go past that area because you can't aggro the mobs in front of you. Once you're feigning death and you're out of combat, you can just go ahead and pop up and then pop your invis pot. And then this is probably the hardest part of the run in my opinion. The run's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. But once you get past here, everything else should be pretty easy. And then summon your pet, go ahead and heal him back up, and then we're ready for our last few set of pulls in the next room. Okay, so now you want to heal your pet back up, run up the stairs, put a freezing trap, and then same thing. Pet stay down there, pet attack. As soon as your pet attacks or he aggros, go ahead and pull him back. So pet passive, he goes all the way back down. And on this door is where you're going to use your Sephorium charge. So once you get here, use charge. Doors blast open. I actually aggroed extra ogres. It usually doesn't happen that way, so that's why my pet died. Then you can just go ahead, if your pet's dead, just go ahead and feign death. And then you can just revive them and get ready for this next pull. So same thing, go ahead and heal your pet back up. You're gonna do pet stay, and you want to make sure your pet's happy, so feed him if you need to. So go ahead and drink up if you need to, heal your pet if you need to, and then give your pet food so he's happy. And once you're ready for this run, same thing. You put in a freezing trap, you send your pet to attack, and then you're gonna call him back. So pet passive, and he's gonna go back to where pet stay was. And then he should dismiss himself pretty early on. Right there, he dismissed himself. You sit on this corner, you feign death, and then this could be the last pull that you do before pulling the boss. I'm gonna show you 2 ways on how to do this. This first way is a little bit riskier, and I'll show you exactly why. Well, the first thing that you need to watch out for this next room are the dogs patrolling. There's gonna be a pack of 3 dogs that are gonna be patrolling, and this is the way how you do the first pull. So you first hit the boss, and then you hit the ogres in the back, and then you come back to this ogre. As soon as your dog hits it, your pet attacks that last ogre, you summon him back. And you see those dogs right there? If those dogs aren't right there, you can actually just go ahead and keep on running straight and get to the last to the boss room, or to the boss altar. But since they're there, I had to feign death here. But I actually accidentally popped up too early. They see me because, you know, I popped up. I'm not feigning death anymore. And that's that. Now, in order to do the safe, do it the safe way, what you're gonna do is you just attack the boss. You send your pet in, and then you attack the mobs back there. Then you can just go ahead and run past the boss. So my pet actually got, I went too late, so he dies. But you just come to this corner, you feign death, and then you can summon your pet again. And like I said, you're gonna watch out for those pack of wolves if they're there, or the pack of dogs. If the pack of dogs are there, you're gonna just wait in this corner, or sometimes you have to wait. You have to feign death and stay feign death until they pat, and they're pretty slow, so this can slow the run if that pat's right there. So same deal. This is gonna be the last pull, and it's gonna be one of the regular pulls. Pet stay, pet attack, and then pet passive. So put a trap down, pet attack, and pet passive. And he'll go back to where you assign him to stay. So go ahead and go past these. And now once your pet despawns, you can just go feign death safely, and we can pull the boss now. However, that dog patroller is still going around, and you can actually accidentally pull them when you're fighting the boss. So if you want to be risk free as possible, just wait for the patrols, for the dog patrol, and kill them. So that's exactly what I'm going to show here. I'm going to demonstrate how to kill the dogs. But once you get more confident with the runs, you're going to get to this room, and you're not even going to have to kill the dog patrols. And I'll explain how to avoid them later when we're fighting the boss. Now, this is usually what takes the longest, just waiting on these patrols and then actually killing the boss. So you're just gonna have to wait here until you see them again. But once we do see them, I'll show you exactly how to do it. And if you look at the timer, it's realistically it's more around 10 minutes because I started it a little bit late. But 10 minutes in, and we're at the boss room, and this is by far not one of the fastest runs. You could usually get to this room anywhere between 6 to, I would say 5 or 6 to like 10 minutes. And I'm just gonna fast forward this real quick. So right here, when you have the dogs coming closer, you're gonna put a frozen trap, feign death, You just send your pet in after a dog or a freezing trap. Make sure that activates. And then you can just kite these dogs up and down this ledge. Just multi-shot them, attack them. Just get them as slow as possible because they do kind of hurt. So just try not to get hit by them. And if you are gonna get hit by them, just put an aspect of the monkey. And then you can scatter shot them, you can slow them down with concussive shot, and then you can kite them through the trap again. So, you know, once they're pretty low, I could tank them. I also have a lot of stamina gear, so I don't usually worry about these killing me. But just if you don't have that great of a gear, definitely be cautious because they do hit pretty hard. Like you see, he barely hit me right there, and he took a good chunk of my health. And like I said, I have pretty good stamina gear on. So once the dogs die, if you're a skinner, you can skin them. The loot that they drop is pretty nice too. At vendors, it's great vendor items, but it's a good price. And then we're ready to actually pull the boss. So if you skip the dogs, the ogre pull was the last pull. If you do the dogs, that's technically the last pull. And like I said, you can't skip them. The more you do these runs, you're gonna learn exactly how they patrol and how not to pull them when they're patrolling and you're kind of the boss. And I'll briefly I'll mention that when I'm pulling the boss, but I'm not going to worry about that during this one because, like I said, I killed them. It's less risk that way. Now, this is going to be the pull for the boss, and this place where this position that your pet's in is very important, so the boss doesn't charge him, because if he's actually out in the open, he is going to charge him. Like I said, if you're actually trying to speed run this and do this a lot faster, you can attack the boss with your pet, but I'm not gonna go over that here. We're just gonna assume the safest route. So like I said, pets stay all the way back there behind that ledge. Then you send your pet to attack the mage, or whatever ogre he's next to. And this is important. You want to sort of stay near your pet so he doesn't despawn. And also, you don't want to actually attack with your pet. Right before your pet hits, you want to pull him back. There you go. And then if you have sprint, you sprint on your pet and go all the way back to where he is. So like I said, you want to sort of stay near him. So right there, I should be good. He's still in range. And then you can start attacking both the boss and his ad. Just go ahead and do as much damage as possible. So damage him here, and then his ad, you're always gonna want to keep a Viper Sting on him as long as you can. So just Viper Sting and LOS. Just go ahead and keep aggro and LOS, and then right here you can same thing, drain mana and LOS, and then you do damage to the other one. So you just keep on ping-ponging them back and forth like this. As soon as he gets near, attack him. So this position that I'm in is definitely the safest position. You can be a lot more aggressive. I'm actually taking a lot of damage there. I didn't notice I didn't have bandages. But it's alright. So this goes to show you don't need a lot of health to do this. I took like a bunch of damage just at the start, and I'm still gonna be able to clear this. So you can feign death once they're close to you. This is why this is safe, because if you have a lot of room for error. So they get all the way over here, you feign death, and then you start drinking. So I'm almost back up to full mana, and then you pop back out, and then by this time your feign death is already well past the, close to be coming back on cooldown. And same thing, you drain mana, you do damage, and then you LOS. Same thing, drain mana and LOS. And like I said, this is the safest way. It's not the most time efficient way, but it's definitely the safest way. So feign death. And I couldn't drink there, I was still in combat, but it's alright because I can just attack them. So you always, like, here's another thing. You always want to attack them before they get to your pet. You don't want your pet to die. If your pet dies, you have to reset, and it's definitely not time efficient then. Same thing, as soon as you see him, do some damage. And this run was pretty bad, honestly. I let my pet take a lot of damage. I took a lot of damage right at the beginning, but it goes to show, you know, even with your pet with low health, even with you with low health, it's still doable. It's all about just patience. And like I said, go back here to this ledge, feign death, and then drink back up. So I think later in the run I actually do show what to do if you want to be a little bit more time efficient. But basically, in order to be more time efficient, you just want to go in between the second ledge, the second pillar that you see there, and just try to hit the boss as much as you can. And while you're doing that, you're hitting that mage and you're LOSing him, and then you keep on constantly hitting the boss. And then you do that and you feign death, rinse and repeat. So that's the fastest way to do it. This would be the safest way to do it. And in case you do get a resisted feign death, yeah, you don't want that to happen. So you feign death right there. So we're good. Just go back up. Make sure you get aggro on him before he hits your pet. There you go. You drain mana. And then again, back on the boss. So that's a better position. Actually, a little bit more forward. Yeah. Right there. And then, you know, if I'm trying to be risky, I would just feign death there. Come back up, do some more damage. And then kite him more towards the end. And then come back and feign death. And then rinse and repeat that way. But like I said, here, this position that we have is foolproof. You're not gonna get. It's very hard to wipe this way. So, the method that I was talking about, if you are fighting with the dogs, you don't want to kite on that ledge. What you want to do is you want to kite on the floor. So, you would be on the floor and then you would LOS with the wall. So you would LOS the ranged caster with the wall instead of LOSing with the pillars. And if you do get, so if feign death does get resisted in these runs, what you're gonna do is kite them, or you know, kite whoever's near you between the upper ledge and then the floor. If you do, you know, if you alternate, they have to go all the way around, and then you can do that until your feign death's back up. And then the only way that I've died when my feign death fails is because it fails 2 times in a row, which it has happened before. Or he hits me and then he sends me flying into the pads. Or the dogs, yeah, exactly. Or the dogs are just still around. But as long as you do it this way, this method is pretty much foolproof. It takes long, definitely, but it's easy and you're not gonna wipe. So yeah, I think that's it for this run. So just go ahead and keep on doing that, and then you'll eventually get the boss down. The boss dies, and then that's the whole run. So I hope this tutorial helped. Definitely let me know what you think about it. If there's some more information that I should have added, just go ahead and comment that. And yeah, thank you for watching. Just enjoy the rest of the run.